Now, India has suggested to all G20 nations to actively cooperate to deal comprehensively and efficiently with fugitive economic offenders as part of the action against them and recovery of the assets. And that is the breaking news we are starting with. In a 9-point agenda suggested to G20 countries, India has conveyed that the member nations should form a mechanism that denies entry and safe havens to all fugitive economic offenders. That is the big update, and India is going to take that lead. Just ahead of that mega G20 summit, India has suggested all the G20 nations to cooperate when it comes to dealing with the fugitive economic offenders. And it's a 9-point agenda that has been suggested to these G20 countries, conveying that the member nation should form a mechanism that denies entry and safe havens to all fugitive economic offenders. And there should be a strong and active cooperation among the countries of the G20 to deal comprehensively and efficiently with these economic offenders. This, according to a document prepared by the government, given to the G20 nations after the G20 anti-corruption ministerial meet that was held in Kolkata earlier. And cooperation in the legal processes such as effective freezing of the proceeds of crime, early return of the offenders, efficient repatriation, etc. All these things will be involved here. And Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor joins us on the broadcast. For more, Abhishek, over to you. Tell us how significant is this? Because India has, of course, been very, strongly and very stern when it comes to the economic offenders. And now it has suggested that G20 nations must cooperate to deal with fugitive economic offenders. And what impact could this really have?
Well, we have seen the likes of Vijay Mallya and Mr. Bhandari, among others, the Modis, the Nirav Modi and others, continuing to live off places like London. And despite the fact that we have brought in changes in our own laws to make sure that these economic offenders, even if they continue to live in those foreign lands, are made to pay. And despite that, if we have seen these nations not cooperating in extradition, among others, so I think that's the reason why India sort of decided to bring to the attention these issues during the G20 event. So, for example, on the anti-corruption ministerial that took place, and there are 3 rounds of those ministerials that have happened. The last one being just about a few days back, and in which we had participation from India or on behalf of India by Minister Jitendra Singh. These nations have been told that the manner in which you are conducting them yourself is not facilitative of bringing to justice these economic offenders. So be it Mallya, be it Modi, be it others, despite the fact that there are enabling legislations put in place. In fact, if you look at the changes to be brought in the existing criminal codes like the IPC, everything exists, but then these people are not able to come for years together. And that's the reason why India has asked upon the G20 nations for an action plan against these fugitive economic offenders and their offences, and help governments like India in asset recovery. G20 forum should actually consider initiating work on locating these properties of economic offenders and likely attach their assets here. Whatever assets the likes of these fugitive offenders have bought in places like London, like Berlin, like Paris, wherever, those respective jurisdictions should be helping us in attaching those properties there so that they cannot enjoy the benefits of their theft and pilferage wherever they have chosen to live. So I think these are important aspects, and there is unanimity, even in G20, is what sources tell us, on making those changes. Hopefully, by the time the G20 presidency of India is over, Rakshita, and all those decisions that are taken here implemented in those respective jurisdictions, hopefully we would have a faster clip in terms of getting those fugitive economic offenders back to India and subject them to the process of law.
Absolutely, of course. This is something that is very significant and an important pitch that India has made ahead of the G20 summit. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for joining us with all those details on that story. Remember, viewers, this is that an agenda that is India is now asking for cooperation on, and right, that is the big breaking we have, and India is now seeking cooperation on dealing with the fugitive economic offenders with other G20 countries.